First and foremost, congrats to Clemson. We played a team that was really hungry. They had lost 3 in a row, been dealing with some injuries, illness, and they were back whole tonight and really played with a sense of urgency. And they played terrific. You know, they were shooting 29% from 3 coming into this game in conference play, and they were 59% today. I think they made 13 of them. And just they were terrific, and so congrats to them. I'm disappointed in our performance. We were just bad across the board. Energy, communication, execution on both sides, and really disappointing performance by us. Got to learn from it, move on to the next play, and get ready for the next one.
That three-point shooting, how much of it is about your defense not getting out to the open shooters?
It was a combination of a lot of different things. It was some breakdowns defensively, allowing middle penetration, which forces help. Them making shots there. When we tried to go zone, we tried to talk about keeping the ball out the middle. They were able to get it there, which collapses the zone and get it out to shooters. And so I think it was a combination of, you know, they made a lot of shots, obviously, but I do think a lot of it had to do with breakdown in our defense. And then they executed. Look, I don't want to make this about just like they played really well, and so we should really congratulate them. They did a lot of good things.
Since this coming in practice?
A little bit. I did.
What did you know?
I just, you know, we won Saturday, and obviously it was a big win and a good win for us. And, you know, just the energy in practice wasn't what it needs to be as we're going forward. You know, I thought we played tired. I thought we looked tired. And this is the time of season where you are tired, but we have to be able to push through. And so in practice on Monday and Tuesday, again, trying to be mindful of guys playing a lot of minutes and fear of injuries, so not doing as much contact, really trying to concentrate on game plan, on what we want to do on both sides of the floor, getting reps in, getting shots up, all those things. It just wasn't the energy that is needed, you know, to win this time of year.
Coach Brownell said that they've stayed away from playing zone defense for most of the year. Did you have to do a lot of kind of in-game adjustments and coaching and teaching when they went to zone?
No, I anticipated them playing a lot of zone against us. You know, he's primarily a man-to-man team, and that statement that he made to you is not true. They actually have played quite a bit of zone here recently. They played it in every game, maybe not as much as they did today, but they've played it. And so we anticipated that coming in. Whether they were in man or zone, our offense was bad. And, again, I want to give them credit, but we didn't move. We just stood around, and that was right from the start of the game. You know, we talked about coming into this game that we had to move their defense. Brad's teams are always one of the better defensive teams from the time he was at Wilmington. They teach it well. They're very fundamentally sound on that side of the ball. They're physical. You know, they do a really good job. And in playing against his teams, you have to have movement. And we did not have movement, no matter if they were in man or zone. And so their defense was really good, but our offense was really poor too. And it's probably a lot of them, but some of it was self-inflicted as well.
Jeff, given your team's personnel, I mean, how much do you think could realistically be done to sort of help you all improve against the zone? What do you think are some adjustments that could be made?
We've been good against the zone at times. We were really good against it in the second half at Syracuse. I thought we were very good against Georgia Tech zone. You know, the very first thing is that we have to make shots. You know, we got some open looks. We have to be able to knock them down. And we can't be afraid if we miss. We can't be hesitant. If you're hesitant and you're doubtful, then you're not going to make it. And so we have to do that. We have to move. You know, we have to have movement against the zone. we can't just stand. And I thought we were that way against man or zone tonight. It didn't matter.
Came out and I think you missed 6 of your first 7 shots. You weren't losing by a lot at that point, but how much does it hurt when you aren't able to like build any momentum to start a game on your home floor?
Unfortunately, that's been where we've been in several games this year, especially recently. We were that way against Georgia Tech. We were that way in some other games here early, but we were able to find energy, in different places and get back in it and then get a rhythm. And so I don't think that necessarily had to do. We missed some of those shots early. You said 6 out of 7. I think at least 3 of them, there was 1 shot clock violation, and I think there were 2 more where we had to throw something up at the end of the clock for it not to be a shot. I call those shot clock violations as well. It all happened because we didn't move. That's what happened. I mean, that's what happened. There was no movement, and when we catch the ball and you hold it and you're thinking and trying to see, then the defense can load up. Like if you're not moving, they're not moving. And they're just loading. They're just standing there waiting. So if you try to drive, which we're a driving team, and there's no movement, then there's probably not anywhere to drive. And so we weren't intelligent with some of the things that we were doing early in this game. And, again, we have to fix it.
Jeff, is there something to be said for learning how to handle success? Justin was in here and said, hey, we came off a win and we weren't as hungry as they were.
Yeah, hey man, we this program hadn't been successful, and so I don't get that. It's something we've tried to preach, all year long, and at some point we have to figure it out. At some point we have to figure out that, the things that are required to be really good, and that's the goal, for us to be really good, not for an individual to be really good, not for a guy to get numbers or anything, but it's for us to be really good consistently. And so you ask about a lesson learned, it's the middle of February. We should have learned from Nickel State in November, the second game. And so at some point, guys have to listen. They have to get over themselves. They have to understand the requirements that it takes to be really good, consistently good, not good for a moment, to become consistently good. And as a program, we're not there yet. We've taken some steps and we've done some good things. I don't want to disregard that, but we're not there yet. And at some point we have, like after we lost to Duke, one of the things, that was our longest break. We were done in a little bit after 11 p.m. and we played again. That was Tuesday, and then we weren't playing again until Sunday at noon. It's the longest break we've had since we started. I think that plays a little bit of part. I think we're a little bit tired. I do, and I think mentally and physically tired. But one of the things I said to our guys is that from this point, because we actually did some really good things, and with the under 4-minute timeout, we're in a position where we have a chance maybe to win. It's a 1-possession game. And so I said to our guys, we did some really good things in this game, and we have to understand that's the requirement. If you can do this here in this environment against this team, we should be able to hopefully we can bottle that up. But I said that I think one of the most important things is from now until noon on Tuesday, everyone's going to be telling you how good you are and how good you did. And at some point that has to offend you. At some point, it has to offend you to be close. We're not there yet, and when we get there, when we get there, that's when we'll take a giant leap, I think, as a program. And so, maybe you do have to continue to go through these lessons to get the message across, because young people today, they're so easily distracted, and so you can lose a game, and I can talk to them and. Before, and this is not just our locker room, I talk to other coaches, before you leave, 12 guys are looking at their phone, 13 guys. And by the time they leave the locker room, their mind may be off the loss. They may have gotten some texts. They may have looked at something on Twitter or Instagram. They've looked at some snaps. And so all of a sudden your mind isn't on, like, this kills me. Like, I won't sleep tonight. I was that way when I was a player. I often wonder if I had all these distractions, would I have been that way? But the game and team has always been sacred to me, and I don't think I would have. And so we have to get to a point where this really bothers you, and you have to change it. It's not going to change. No one's going to feel sorry for us. No team in this league is going to feel sorry for us. And so we have to grow up, and we have to understand that we are the ones that have to change it.
Jeff, do you have any preliminary indication on the severity of Eric's ankle?
Do not.
Coach, I know it's kind of hard to be positive right now after a game like that, man, but how special was that, the Zoo singing you happy birthday to kick things off?
It was cool. It was cool. It was a little bit embarrassing. I don't like attention. I don't. I never have. And for me, I'm appreciative. I'm grateful. They were awesome. But for me, I had my time as a player, man. Like, this is about these guys. I want everything to be about our guys. And but it was cool. I'm really grateful for it.
Jeff, how do you think, this is his first game back in a couple of weeks, how do you think Ryan looked and how much of an effect that kind of showed that it was, that he was kind of getting back in the swing of
Yeah, I thought he, gave us some good minutes. Obviously, he's incredibly rusty. He just got cleared for contact yesterday, and the day before a game, we don't really do much contact. And so the game was actually the first time he's gone up and down with contact. We did a little bit yesterday in a half court, but yesterday was the first time. The game was the first time he went up and down. So I thought, he gave us some good minutes, and we need to get him integrated back into what we're doing.
Hey, Justin, what were you seeing from Clemson's defense tonight? Why was it so difficult to put the ball in the basket?
They were just really aggressive. They're an older team. They're smarter than, mostly smarter than a lot of teams in the league. But they just came out hungry and ready to play because they came off a 3-game losing streak. And we just didn't come out the right way, and they sensed it. They took advantage of it.
Justin, they hit 8 of their final 10 threes. This is just kind of tough even when you guys forged a comeback there, cut it to, I think, 50 of 41, that they just keep hitting.
They're good players. We could have contested a little bit better. We could have been there on the catch and just, forced them not to shoot threes. But we just got to just be smarter when it comes to, knowing who's a shooter on the court and knowing how to close out to them.
Where do you feel like this team struggles against the zone stem from?
What's that again?
Sorry. Where do you feel like your all struggles against the zone stem from? Why is it that you think that you guys have had so much trouble against it?
I think today their zone was a little bit different. It wasn't like a zone we've really seen, because when they're, say if I flash at a high post, or one of their big men would, it was turned to more of a matchup zone. And we haven't really seen that. I would sit there and guard you, they wouldn't leave you in the middle. So we haven't really seen that, but still we just got to be better at getting the balls to the corner and looking at the baseline for the lobs or just for the dump down passes.
We had talked with Clemson's coach a little bit earlier. He was saying probably about 90% of the year that they've been playing man. How much of it all did you guys prepare for potentially facing a zone?
We prepared a lot for them to play zone. We figured they was gonna play zone 'cause a lot of teams players in zone, but I just guess that we didn't come out here with the mindset and ready just to actually face it. We came out here a little bit lackadaisical and just going through the motions, and it came back and it hurt us.
How much do you feel like that the beginning, maybe the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, you guys weren't making any shots and you didn't go down by a lot, but how much do you feel like that kind of you weren't ever able to build any momentum, you weren't able to establish the home court advantage and that kind of thing?
I just feel like it all comes down to how we came out. I just feel like we came out flat. They weren't really stopping us from getting our run on, but we just came out flat. And against good teams in the league, that doesn't happen. You can't just turn it on and off. And I feel like I take a part in that. I feel like we all didn't come out, ready to play. And because of that, we couldn't get our groove on and couldn't just get going.
Justin, why do you think that is, and how do you prevent that in the future?
I just think it's just us mentally. We came off a win. We gotta learn how to come off a win and be hungry for more, I think, and so we can just come in and just be an actual threat and a force in this league.
Justin, you guys had a couple of runs, one to end the half, and then one there in the second half, around 10 minutes or so, and then they were followed by long scoring droughts. What fell apart after those runs?
I just feel like we weren't really moving the ball as a team, right? You know, we were kind of letting the ball stick. We weren't moving in the zone. You know, we're always taught to let the ball move in the zone, like swing it around, hit the corners, hit the high post, hit the baseline, and just see what they throw at you. But I just feel like the ball, like we didn't do that today. You know, it was kind of just stuck in our hands, and that's kind of the outcome.
That kind of an unusual thing to happen this late in the season.
It is, you know, but we just got to be better. I mean, we can't like, nah, I'm not even gonna say that, but we just got to be better as a team. It's unusual. It shouldn't happen. It won't happen, but we just got to be better as a team coming out.
How much do you feel like Sims hurt you passing from the inside out?
We never seen a player like Sims, I don't think, yet. Because, you know, last year they said he played a 3. I wasn't here last year, but they said he played a 3 last year, and he's playing a 5 now. So it's kind of like a real big mismatch. So he hurt us a lot, but we just got to be prepared and ready just to face whatever's thrown at us.
What does he do? What does he do that makes him such a difficult matchup?
He's like a point forward. Like, I don't look at him as a 5 at all. I think he could play like the 3. You know, he dribbles, he shoots. He's just like a creator for the team. Like, he's probably their best player, I personally think. You know, he's a big mismatch. He's pulling our big man out of the paint, out of his comfort zone. So it kind of hurts.